Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much for inviting me. I really do appreciate it. I've been on about 12 forums so far, and I've had the privilege of seeing Buffy Wicks once. So I'm not surprised that she was unable to be here today. Um, I'm running for State Assembly District 14 because I was shocked that no one ran against Buffy Wicks in 2022, and there are many issues that I disagree with. The main one, of course, is housing. There's a demand for housing, and it's common to say, yes, we need more housing. Yes, we should have more housing. There is a shortage of housing. But the housing that's getting built is high cost housing. It's housing for the rich. I'm for housing for all, not just the rich. The housing supply is being built for high-rise market rate housing everywhere. That's what we got in Berkeley under the ABAG and under the present city council. We've had all sorts of high-rise, 24-story housing for high-income people. But what we really need is housing for average incomes and for low incomes, for workers, for elders, for students, for or, ordinary people who need housing. And we see the failure of this housing, which comes right out of Sacramento. It's a state plan to build more housing. The failure of the housing is seen daily when we see more people on the street, more people living in their cars, more people traveling long distances from home to work, and it's not a successful program. If we had a successful program, we would see more low income housing, and we're not getting it. So this is the reason I'm running. My priorities for being in the state assembly is to make sure that we have housing for everyone, not just the rich. And the way you would have to fund this is, as we spoke before, we would have to fix Prop 13. Prop 13 was invented by Jarvis, and he made it true that yes, our housing income for us average people, taxes did go down. They were too high at the time. But the main purpose of Prop 13 was to lower taxes for the large corporations, for Disney and Chevron. And so what we have to do is we have to reinstall, fix Prop 13 so that Disney and Chevron and all the big corporations will pay their proper taxes, their fair taxes. They're paying taxes, the taxes that they paid in 1978. We need to fix that. I'm also for single payer health care. I've been working for single payer health care for years. I was working for the state health department on access to health care as a social scientist for many years. I get my pension from the state health department. And we need to improve access to health care for all Californians. And the way we do that is we should be the leader in the healthcare for all movement. And what happened recently was that our present state assembly person took the AD 2200, which was the California CalCare bill that would have put uh, health care for all on the agenda for our legislators to vote on. She is the chair of the Appropriations Committee, and she said, "Oh well, we're going to have a deficit this year, so we'll bury it. So it isn't going to come up for another 2 years. We need health care for all now, not in 2 years from now, not buried it by the Appropriations Committee." So I was very, very upset about that, which is another reason I'm running. I'm a long-time Democrat. I've been a Democrat ever since I voted for the first time. So we really need to put health care for all back on the table where legislators can vote for it. I'm also for tenants' rights. I've been endorsed by the Berkeley Tenants Union, and we really need to repeal Costa-Hawkins so that any city can vote to have rent control if they wish to have it. There's actually a proposition on this November ballot, Prop 33, which is sponsored by Justice for Renters. Justice for Renters has its proposition. It's 23 words. And the 23 words are something like any city has the right to um, enact rent control if it wishes. And so I encourage you all to vote for Prop 33 this next November so we can really get rent control and make sure that our population of renters is a stable population, that they don't have to fear about having their rent increased excessively. As I said, I'm for fixing Prop 13. I myself benefit from low taxes because I bought my condo back in 1984 for $50,000, and I have low taxes and I can live on my pensions. I'm one of the lucky ones. But what if you're a renter today? You can't find a place to live. We see people on the street every day. I'm also for the environment. I'm very much to save our planet. We have to uh, back off of fossil fuels. We need more solar. There's been laws in the legislature, and the PUC has actually disincentivized the people who want to put solar in their housing. I'm opposed to that. We have to make it a greater value so that everyone can have solar and benefit from it. There was a recent rule by the PUC that the people who have solar do not generate energy that they can put back in the system and get paid for it. I oppose that. We have to have more solar. We have to have more wind energy. We can even get energy from the tides. So this is the kind of thing we need to work on. I'm also for increasing minimum wage to be a living wage. I'm for safe schools, small classes, better pay for teachers, more art, music, and literature and science in the schools, free community college, and classes in the colleges for the trades. We have a shortage of trades, people who work in the trades in our state. And one of the reasons is that they got rid of the classes that prepared kids to go into the trades in high school. We used to have things like wood shop, metal shop, um, and the trade classes that prepared people to go into the trades. I've talked to people in the construction industry, and they say if you don't prepare kids to go into the trades by the time they're a sophomore in high school, the chances are that they won't go there. And not only that, we don't have these classes at our community college. This is a very important piece that's missing from our schools. I'm also for free community college, and I believe that we should be having low tuition in our state schools. We support our state colleges with our taxes, and we need to support the students who are going to be going into our labor force so that we have an educated labor force. We have people who can work in all the industries that we have here in California and be trained to do it. They shouldn't have to get into debt of hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a college degree. That's obscene in my book, in my view. And of course, women's rights. I was a leader in the women's lib movement back in the 70s, and I'm still have to fight for women's rights today. We have to fight for equal wages and abortion rights and good child care and all of the things that free women up to be reach their full potential. So there are many, many things that we are still working on. I've been working for change all my life. I was born in San Francisco, raised in Los Angeles. I spent 8 years in Hawaii. I'm an alumni of the University of Hawaii and also an alumni of the University of California School of Public Health here in Berkeley. And I've been working as a researcher in state government and for other institutions like Stanford. And so I would like to invite you to endorse me. I'm for housing for all of us. I'm for health care for all of us. I'm for better schools. I'm for saving the environment. And these are the things that we need to work on now. Thank you very much.